Hi, this is Dave, your host. You're listening to the last podcast where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. If you're returning, welcome back. I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value, and even a little entertainment at times. Welcome and thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Little disclaimer, as you probably already know, I don't proclaim to be an expert in any field. I am just a God-fearing man who wants to touch the lives in ordinary ways. And I found podcasting gives me that platform to do just that. Reach people and share some tips, ideas, and value, and a little entertainment at times. I believe we all have something to share that we can share of value. Not everything I share, I know every listener, or will it resonate with every listener. But if I can touch the life of just one person hanging in the balance and being able to bring them back from the brink of destruction and become a positive force in their own life, I think what I share on this platform will be well worth the saving. 1 Peter 4:8, above all, have fervent and unfailing love for one another, because love covers a multitude of sins. It overlooks unkindness and unselfishly seeks the best in others. And I believe that's what I really would like to do. I'm guilty of it. I got to be honest with you. I don't always seek the best in others. Dealing with my past of not being able to trust a lot of people, I grew up that way. So now things have changed for me. So I would like to see the best in others. And I ask God to give me the discernment to know when other people are trying to use me. In spite of my good efforts, it's still, you're still going to come across, and I know that I'm gonna come across a lot of people who may not like me, and for one reason or another, and might even find me as a threat for whatever. I don't know. People are fickle that way. They're strange. I even read a 1 Peter 4:9. Use hospitality toward one another without grudging. And basically what that really says is, when you're being nice and showing hospitality toward others, do it with all joy. Not because you have to, or being reluctant or unwilling. Do it with kindness and compassion. You'll find that this will be better off for both of you, and it'll probably leave you in a better mood as well. I really enjoy podcasting a great deal, and always knew I would. It's just that in my days of poetry, I used to always like being in front of the crowd and being in the competitions and reciting poetry, and people enjoying what you had to say. I love it. I miss it. But I'm not there no more. I'm not on that platform with poetry. I like poetry, still love poetry. And even if you are on this podcast and listen to this podcast on Fridays, you'll see that I'll read a poem, either if it's my own or a favorite poet that I might like. If you're knowledgeable about something, and if you're pretty good with different topics, why not start your own podcast? Especially if you're passionate about something, a hobby or a topic. It'd be a great way to create your followers, whether you have a blog or a website, or even your social media following. You can increase it that way by starting a podcast and direct the traffic to your podcast, and vice versa. Your podcast direct people to your website or social media sites. Podcasting to me is a great way to create your own content, and could be distributed on platforms. I believe like you got a lot of different platforms, and I can't really name all of them, but I know Apple, Spotify, even Amazon, and where I found a podcast that I kind of like and enjoy listening to is Positive, Be Positive, Stay Positive, or Stay Positive and Be Positive. by Nate. And that's how I got started. I was listening to his podcast, and basically, I enjoyed listening to the guy, and I still do. And I wanted to actually, I said, if I listen to all these people on their podcast, why not start my own? This is really what I wanted to do years ago, but never really had the guts to start my own podcast. One thing about podcasting is it's great to create new content or reuse content from the blogs onto your podcasting. One thing about podcasting is you can create a short dialogue, or it could be a lengthy venue for others to take part in and enjoy. Podcasting, you'll find yourself meeting interesting people, and you may probably have not met if it wasn't for your podcast. You can interview people pertaining to specific topics or more. There are many platforms for which you to choose from. You just have to do a little research and find out what's better suits your needs and your financial stats. I know that podcasting for me has been like being therapeutic. I would say that is the perfect word for me. Podcasting has been therapeutic for me. I've started this podcast, and I really enjoy it. Sometimes if I don't create a podcast on a specific day, I feel kind of funny. I feel strange. It's like going out the house without your phone or keys, and you don't feel right. And that's how I feel when I don't do a podcast on a specific day. Um, if you are returning, you would know that this is my second week, or probably no, I'm forgetting it. This is my third week right now without my wife, and podcasting to get back into it. Last week was it was like being it was therapeutic. It gives me a platform to talk about how I felt, how wonderful my wife was, and even before she passed, I even talked about her resilience, the fire that was inside of her, and the will to live. I've never seen in anybody before, but I'm quite sure everybody's felt that way about their loved one. Um, I think podcasting to me is an opportunity to help others, to touch the lives of people you wouldn't in any other format, because people are driving, they don't get a chance to read while they're driving, but they can listen to you. And if you are talking about something that will actually resonate with them, they'll listen and they'll say, wow, this guy must be knowing exactly what I am going through. And your podcast, you can do all sorts of things with it. It can be spontaneous, it can have structure, or you can wing it. I'm not very good at winging it. Some people are great at it. You have to find what works best for you. Live podcasting can be exciting, depending on what you're doing and who you have on the show with you. Um, for me, like right now, this is not a structure podcast for me. I'm just talking because I wanted to put this podcast out, and this was basically on my mind. And I do know that when we hear others talk about a specific thing, sometimes it resonates with us, and we might be going through something similar, or we've gone through it in the past, and we can relate to whatever it is that the podcaster is talking about. Um, for me, I went out and got a book, and today this book is, and I'm quite sure everybody has heard of Chicken Soup of the Soul, or For the Soul. I'm sorry. The title on this book is called Grieving, Loss, and Healing: 101 Stories of Comfort and Moving Forward. Um, I went and picked this up at the library, and believe it or not, I have an extensive library in my own home, and I never had anything about grieving or healing or loss. I have a lot of books that deal with religious stuff and topics on loss, but nothing for healing except for what's in the actual Bible. And I've read most of those. I've read the Bible several times from cover to cover. However, this here, I've read a couple of short stories out of this book already and can tell you it's actually an eye opener for me. And it's things that you already probably know, but it brings to the forefront of your mind saying, okay, I forgot about this, but this is right. Yeah, okay. That is right. And it talks about loss. It talks about how people feel. And in sometimes it even talks about the stages that one might be going through, whether it be guilt, whether it be loneliness, whether it be emptiness, a void. And I've gone through all those stages. I've had loss, 6 family members in the past 3 years. And I never really had the time to mourn each and every one of them because there was always someone else going. And now I think why it really hit me so hard, it seemed like I'm the last one standing in my immediate family. And it's really hit me hard because you know how you can call your brother or your sister or another family member, mother or father or something like that. And you could talk about all sorts of things with them that you wouldn't normally talk about with anyone else. And I don't have that anymore. My mother, my father, everybody is gone. So all my brothers and all my sisters, they're all gone. Uncles are gone. Aunts are gone. So it's I feel like I'm the last man standing, and I'm starting to understand one thing. I don't know why this happens, and I'm not even going to try to determine why. All I know is that I believe in God, and I believe that He has a plan, and I know He has a plan for me. And that, whatever it is, through all that loss, I am leaning on Him more than ever than before. And I just want to share my thoughts and my opinions, and I hope that I know I can get through it, and I know it's not easy. And if you're going through something like what I'm going through, I do know that we'll get through it. And that's we're human, we're people, and I know one thing about people: we're all resilient, and at times we're broken. At times we're hurt. At times our heart feels like it's broken in a million pieces, but over time it will heal, and over time it does get better. And I have to trust in that. If I didn't believe in that, I don't think I'd be here talking to you now on this podcast. So if you are going through something and you have gone through loss, hey, find somebody that understands. Find somebody that will relate to you and relate to your loss and can help you and talk with you. And then also there's a lot of information on the web where you could talk. It talks about grieving. It talks about the process of grieving and all the stages that you go through in your grieving process. It's important that you know it. It's important that you know that you're not going crazy and you're not being punished for anything. And some people feel, why me? They call it survivor's guilt. Why am I the only one left? Hey, at one point I did feel that. But hey, like I said, I can't get into why, because that's a rabbit hole you probably will never come back from. So all you have to do is trust and know that there is a plan for you and in your life. And right now, it may not seem that way, but there is. You just have to focus. You just have to grieve. You have to talk to people. You read about grieving and healing and loss, and then you start to pick up the pieces and move on. And that's what it's all about, taking that next step forward. You can do it. I know I could do it. It may not be easy. I know it's hard, but it could get done. Well, my name is Dave. I'm with the last podcast, and that's what you're listening to now. And I hope that you guys reach out to me. Let me know if what I'm talking about you can relate to, resonates with you. Do you find value in what I'm talking about? I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. And you can reach me at the last podcast 443@gmail.com. Again, until tomorrow, have a great day. Bye. Hi, my name is David. I'm the host of The Last Podcast. I'm looking for 3 good people who would like to earn some extra money from home helping others. This is not for everyone. However, if you excel at helping others and really have a knack for helping people, I have something you should consider. I will leave all the information in the show notes of podcasting, and you would be able to see and click on that and watch a video and tell me if it's for you. This is a great way for you to supplement your income and build a thriving business from home. Again, my name is Dave, and you're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Have a good day.